All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. How are you? Welcome to our live stream for today. Please pay attention to the following announcements from your streaming host. Good morning, Jody. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S, as in Sierra. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We will be flying the Junkers 52, departing from Gora and heading to Ar Rutbah. So we are going from Egypt to Iraq. I am not taking requests for flights or for me to fly particular aircraft. I fly the sim the way I want to. My schedule is created well in advance, meaning that I spend time finding interesting places to fly, as well as flying aircraft that I am confident will work in the sim. My streaming schedule is subject to change based on my own real life schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays, jetliner, regional jet, regional prop flights. Thursdays, military aviation flights. Saturdays, are Lightning Saturdays featuring the P-38 Lightning. And Sundays, we have scenic flights. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you for your attention. So I've already started the plane up. We are cleared for takeoff, and once we are in the air, we will talk about what's going on today and why am I only on Twitch. So let me get in the air first, and then we will discuss that. So for those of you who are watching the video, the replay on YouTube, the upload, I will not be able to, I guess I'll just put it this way. Because I've made affiliate, I have to have my video on here for at least 24 hours before I can put it on to YouTube. So that is part of the affiliate agreement. I thought it was only for partners, but it turns out it is for affiliates. So I've only done 2 videos. I hope I don't get dinged for that in any way. I don't think I will, because it's not too flagrant, I don't think. But yeah, it was pointed out to me that I need to wait 24 hours. So you will see this video on YouTube tomorrow. I will download it, and it will premiere roughly 24 hours after we get done today. So I do apologize in advance that I have lots of people over on YouTube are going to be looking for me there and see that I'm not there, so I apologize. Hopefully word gets around. I need to contact the tower. I forgot I... Alright, so we are going to go... There we go. Alright. So let's taxi out there, and we will be in the air momentarily. But I do have to say that the video looks a lot better over here on Twitch. A lot crisper, a lot clearer. Jody, do you think it's the same? Looks a lot better, easier to see? Yes, no, maybe. Come on, plane, get moving. There we go. Looks a lot better over here on Twitch. Okay, good. Most people say that, but I just want to get see what you thought. Yeah, it is. So we're looking at possibly a 4.5 hour flight today. I'm hoping we can, once we are in the air, we can hopefully get a tailwind and we will be there a little bit quicker. We shall see. See, I asked for east departure and they're sending me west. I don't quite understand why that would be, but whatever. Maybe I should ask for... Well, if either way, they probably would have sent me to runway 26. Go figure. Crazy. ATC and their silly ways. Most people would have just gone to the other end and just taken off and fine with it. That's alright. We'll be on our way here in a minute. Alright, there we are. There's that. Ta-da. Alright, let's turn off the taxi light because we don't need that now. Alright, let's go. Away we go. So no navigation aids, nothing. We are flying technically full VFR for visual flight rules today. A little crusty salute to El Gora. We are on our way to Ar Rutbah, Egypt to Iraq. Away we go. Now, when I was looking at the flight plan, there might, once we get further going in between Egypt and Iraq, looks like we have some... Morning, Mick. Looks like we may have to climb over some mountains. So I'm not going to be... I'm going to try to stay as low as I can for as long as I can, but that may not be advisable. Oops. So... we'll make the best of it. There we are. So we don't have any kind of navigation aids or anything. We are going to be flying without any of that. So we don't have the beeping and all that other kind of stuff. So we have 336 nautical miles, I think it is. So like I said, hopefully if we have a bit of a tailwind, we will get there a little bit quicker. We shall see. that's another airport up over to our left somewhere, if I remember correctly. There we are. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a long one. I've got some snacks. Try to stay hydrated. Lots of water. A bit muggy today. We had a little bit of a quick, very faint rain shower here just a moment ago. It wasn't anything really significant, just enough to wet your whistle. Probably not even that. I have the little Ritz cheese bites. I have that, and I have some mini frosted chocolate donuts. And lots of water. I didn't have my coffee because it was like, it's kind of warm already, and I think I didn't want to have coffee. It's kind of muggy today, so yeah. Yeah, not too bad. Try to keep myself, because I remember when I did the long flight from New York to Frankfurt, I think it was. I was snacking, but it was like just like not anything really. I mean, not that the little chocolate donuts are any better, but it was just like, it wasn't like protein or anything to keep me going. It was just like sugar and all that. So the chocolate donuts are for later in the flight. I did have some breakfast already, so I should be good to go for the time being. Boy, we are getting a bit of a wind that wants to push us to the right, it looks like. So yeah, just we will. So yeah, the chocolate donuts are the last ditch snack. Oh, now we're going to the left. This thing is kind of all over the place. Still climbing. We're just going to keep climbing here, slowly but surely. Yeah. Hopefully it's enough to get me to the end. That's the difference. Because I was struggling by the time, like when we were getting in, just starting to descend into Frankfurt, I was just like, oh, yeah, I was like tired, like I was just exhausted. And it wasn't, after a while, it wasn't fun, to be honest. It just really wore me out. That's why I prefer, we're going to have some long flights on this trip to Indonesia, but I'm trying to minimize it. It's just that there was no way. I looked every which way possible to try to break this up, and there was nothing reasonable that I could do. It's just a straight shot, nothing else there, I couldn't do much else about it. So, but there was some that I was able to break up that were going to be like 5.5-hour flights roughly, so I was able to break it up into smaller chunks. So that's why I was able to get or I turned it into a 32 leg flight, because some of them weren't. I added some places. So, and part of it too is that some of the airports just don't exist anymore. If you've heard me talk about that, yeah, a lot of them are gone, or a lot of them have been turned into military air bases. So even getting information about them is very difficult. Like the Ar Rutbah the strip that we're heading to today, I've looked it up online, and there's no charts for it. Nowhere could I find any information. It's like the airport doesn't exist, and I think that's because it's probably not an improved runway or anything. It's just probably a dirt strip or something, and that's it. And so it's probably, if there are rains or anything like that, or sandstorm, it obliterates it. So, and then it just, eventually comes back, but, it's not a permanent sort of place. So, yeah, that's going to be, but it was a stop along the way on this KLM route. They did stop in Ar Rutbah and then went on to Baghdad. So, this was all the 1930s, which is strange if you think about it, because most places, we wouldn't be able to land probably in Ar Rutbah in real life, because the landing strip probably doesn't exist or is very rough, So, but I think we'll be okay. Should be able to make it there and get on the ground. We'll park it and we'll call it an end to the stream. I will start downloading this and get it processing on YouTube. It will premiere tomorrow, 24 hours after we conclude the stream today. So I'm sorry that I won't be streaming in both locations. And see, because Ar Rutbah doesn't exist, I don't have a way of there was no way to measure which direction I needed to head. It was kind of like I just had to kind of guesstimate, or with the little VFR map, now I know for sure which way to head. So otherwise I would be lost, and this would take a lot longer. It would just be, so no, we're gonna cheat a little bit, but that's for expediency. I don't want to be lost around the desert looking for our airport, and then we run out of gas and crash, and we never get anywhere near where we were supposed to be. Well, actually, now that I think about it, let's go ahead and get sure. Ooh, I kind of like that one right there. Interesting sort of there we go. Interesting landscape. Looks like I don't know if those are farms. Look like kind of like farming areas, but it's hard to tell. From the air it looks like farming land. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's all like agricultural. Look at that. Huh. Very interesting. I don't know if that's a, I guess that's a pool of water of some kind, or maybe some water for irrigation. From a distance, it almost looks like a soccer pitch or a football pitch. We're good. Oops. Oh boy, we are turning far to the left. Look at, oh my goodness. Whew. How in the world? It's like it just turned on its own. See, this is the difficult part without any kind of autopilot. Even if you set it kind of going the way you want to go, uh, farming sim. Oh, yeah. Well, if somebody did a map, I mean, I guess you would have to, well, I don't know how you would replicate, or, you know, you could probably make a map out of this, but uh, maybe. See, it's weird because there's only, it's either America, Europe, or, you know, UK, Germany, France, maybe Italy now. There's only like a handful of countries that they make maps for, it seems like. I think it would be interesting if they had this as a, you know, a map on the farm sim, but I guess, you know, it would help if there was somebody from the area that kind of knew the setup and could create it, or at least make it as realistic as possible. Wow, we are really pushed to the northeast there. Yeah. Probably going to be a bit bumpy once we get over the mountains there. Still climbing. Get back on track here. We need to make sure we stay the right direction. See, if I thought we were getting way off track. There's another airport there. It looks like there's another one right there. Two airports. This looks like the larger of the two. Yeah, if I hadn't noticed that, we would, and I didn't, even without having the little map, it was easy to see that we were going way off track. Yeah, we would have been all over the place, so we need to I got to keep an eye on this. Otherwise, we'll be zigzagging all over the desert here, and I don't really want to do that today. The sooner we get there, the better. Yeah, but there might be some winds coming in off the coast there, kind of coming inland, and then it's going to get a little bit bumpy here over the mountains. All right. Need to dial back the mixture just a smidge. Try to sip the gas. We do appreciate you all coming in today, hanging out for a short while. Oops, I had 110 followers, now I went down to 109. Oh, well. Somebody gave up on me. That's alright. It is what it is. That's interesting. Jody was red and now it's green. Okay. Huh. Interesting. That is. Do appreciate my 2 subscribers, Mick and Patrice. Thank you both. You are founding members of the Uncle B Sim channel here on Twitch. Glad to have you along. All subscriptions and or bits donated are all greatly appreciated, but are not required to watch the stream. We will have a loyalty rewards program. Another airport out here somewhere. Right. Oh, there it is, back there. Looks like that looks like an airstrip right there. Get used to. Oh, that's fine, Jody. That's okay. No worries. I mean, you can have an account. You don't have to stream on here. You can just watch videos. That's what I did for quite some time, and I totally forgot about it until I was looking for an option to stream from my Xbox, and ta-da! It's like Twitch account. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Here we are. I wish I could tell you, like, if, well, it tells you who follows you, but it doesn't tell you who left you, but that's okay. It's all good. It's a personal decision. Respect it. Thank you, Jody, for following me here. Thank you, Fish Guns, for following me here on Twitch as well. Nice to have you both along for the flight. We'll be here for the foreseeable future. 7 days a week and twice on Sunday, as they say. If you want to donate, you can donate to the PayPal if you have the means to do so. Greatly appreciated. All donations and money raised will go towards future aircraft content. That's what the premise is. We're not so much concerned about the airports. We are more, I mean, there's some small ones that I look at here and there, but it's more about the aircraft that, you know, seem to be interesting and seem to work well. You know, I'm confident will work. So yeah, now coming up into June, I need to spend some time getting to grips with the Concorde, so that the last Tuesday of June we will have a nice flight from JFK to Heathrow in the Concorde, British Airways livery. It should be. I think they have the original one. They have the two different British Airways versions, but they have the original one and the newer one. So, for those of you who are Concorde aficionados, the word is, you will appreciate that it's, I mean, it may not be 100% spot on, but I'm sure it's pretty darn close. So that will be coming in the last jetliner flight of June. Looking forward to it. Should be fun. We're slowly still climbing here. If you're lurking, welcome. Nice to see you here. Maybe you're just having a listen. Sorry, I had to mute myself because somebody was doing their usual silliness here on a early, not too early, but still. What was I gonna say? Yeah, if you're kind of just hanging out, listening to me while you work, or whatever the case may be, thank you. If you're having a good day, good evening, whichever, good morning, good something or other. So we have it's about 330, almost 340. I think I'm just going to round up, say about 340 nautical mile trip to Ar Rutbah. About 3.5 hours. So it's about an hour per 100 and something nautical miles. So, and there's no way of knowing how far we are in. I mean, I could have timed it, but I don't even know how much we have left at this point, to be honest. I remember, I think this is the first, maybe this is the first set of kind of low mountains or whatever we're gonna have to cross over, and I think there's a higher set of mountains later on, but we'll get over them and get down into Ar Rutbah. Not sure what to expect when we get there. I don't know what it's gonna look like when we come in for landing, but what we may do, if I'm not too exhausted, we may do a quick circle around just to get an idea of what it looks like, and then we'll come in for landing and call it a day. So yeah, it's going to be dependent on how much energy I have at that point. I may just want to go straight in and put it on the ground and take my chances. But from what I could see, like when I've looked at the region on like Google Maps, it seems like a dirt strip, dirt landing strip that may become hardened, if once the dirt dries out from the sun, then it's like kind of like a hard strip, but it's not like level or without its issues. So, but we will try our best, and then from there, our next leg on Monday. Oh no, that's right, we were skipping that. Monday we are doing the D-Day flight. So a week from today, we are going from Ar Rutbah to Baghdad. And again, because there's no way of, I don't have the information for Ar Rutbah. I have a VOR DME to tune into, but I don't remember how far it is that we have to travel. So, oh, and then the 9th of June, oh, I forgot about that. We will be in the MiG-29. East German, liveried MiG-29. Yes, I forgot about that. It will make its debut on the Military Aviation Thursday here next week. So be prepared for that. I know I said I would fly it in the country of origin, but to avoid any drama, for lack of a better term, I will fly it in the former East German colors, I guess you could say. So, yeah, don't want to appear that I am supporting one side or another. They do have a Ukrainian liveried MiG-29, and they have Russian liveried MiG-29. So I'm just going to steer clear of that situation from this flight, East Germany. So looking forward to that. Should be fun. But we are running out of military aviation sort of aircraft. We're starting to have to recycle things, and I know that's going to get a bit old after a while. People want to see something new. If or when we get the update to the F-15 that we've been waiting on to fix the throttle issue, then that will return. The T-45 is still not working, unfortunately, which kind of breaks my heart because I really like that plane. But I don't know what India Fox Teco is doing, or if they have to redo their entire flight model or what. But I was hoping that that would be resolved soon so that we could just kind of enjoy flying that again. But yeah, unfortunately not. Outside here for a moment. Wow, look at that landscape. Wow. It's like the years it took for all this, the wind and everything else to shape this landscape. I mean, this almost looks like a dried, like you could see the lines, almost like there was a reservoir or something there maybe. There was water there at some point, possibly. I mean, it just kind of looks like that. Just, it may not be the case, but it does kind of look like that. What is that over there? It's like a big hole in the ground. From this angle, it almost looks like a big... Huh. It almost looks like there's a canyon, and then it goes out to the... Huh. So we'll have an eye on that. Once we get a little bit closer, keep an eye on our direction so we don't go too far off the track there. We're kind of paralleling it, so that's fine, but I don't want to get straight too far from it. We're going way farther away from where we want to be. This would be the point. If I was on a PC, I would probably be doing some celestial sort of navigating like Captain Arish does with Allison when they're doing the Amelia Earhart flights. I almost said Amelia Island. I almost did. it was on the tip of my tongue, but I really remembered it's Amelia Earhart, not Amelia Island. I miss Amelia Island. A lot of fun. Wish I could go back one day. I miss going to the car shows. There's something unique about seeing cars from all different eras, and to see, like when I go to the historic races, to see where racing started at, in the 20s and 30s, and then you look at the late 70s, 80s, and even early 90s, the cars that were racing then, it's like night and day. But you appreciate the older, very simplified racing cars, the Bugattis and the Alfa Romeos, stuff like that. I got a chance to see the Indy Roadsters one year, when all the Indy cars were actually front engine, big turbos, yeah, it's interesting. And then you see how it, aerodynamics and the engine moves at the back, and but I miss seeing all that kind of stuff. Talking to either, sometimes you get a chance to talk to the owner of the car, or just talking to other fans and talking about favorite cars or favorite drivers or favorite tracks or all the above. Which car would you like to drive around a track? Or I always think if I could get into even if it was a replica, but a 250 GTO from Ferrari, one lap or a couple laps around Laguna Seca, I think I could die a happy man. It'd be a lot of fun. We're just kind of cruising along here at about 8,000, almost about 8,500 feet, give or take. You open the window. Get a little air in there. You can even open this. So then I think that was I think that was for the Celestial Navigator to climb out to get a good reading. I think that's what it was for, but I may be wrong. But then you have a cover here. They can close these up to, if it was in the sun, they could close that to try to keep the flight deck cool, I guess. Or if they didn't want the sun reflecting off the light, or the windows on here on the top. But we cannot close that, unfortunately. It is just for show. It's like a small town or something here. Like even almost looks like a bit of farming land down there. Miss going to the races, miss going to the car shows. Always something interesting to see. Interesting people to meet. the common thing is you all love cars. Doesn't matter if you like a particular brand or whatever, you are welcome. Alright, so we've been streaming for about 47 minutes. I think we took off, probably been in the air for maybe 43 minutes, I think. Possibly. Kind of a ballpark figure. So I did start the plane up, so that way we just got that all out of the way before let's try to improve the there we go. That. We need to warm up the carburetors. Yeah, a bit of a long one today, folks. It might be a little, it's not fast. We will get there when we get there. Possibly a 4.5. Oh, did I say 3? Yes, I think it's 4.5. It's going to be a long one. Let's put it that way. No navigation aids, no way of knowing. We're just going to keep going until we get there. As we see Ar Rutbah on the little VFR map, we will start looking to see if we can call in and ask for, tell them we're coming in for landing. And we'll get it on the ground, park it, shut it down, and call it a day. Back tomorrow in the Grumman Goose. If you don't know what the Grumman Goose is, if you Google a show called The Tales of the Golden Monkey, came out, kind of tried to ride the popularity of Indiana Jones and wait, is it Raiders of the Lost Ark? I'm sorry, not Indiana Jones. I'm thinking of the Temple of Doom. Raiders of the Lost Ark came out, and so a lot of shows were, you know, they wanted to ride that popularity. So it had that kind of a adventurer feel to it, and the pilot had a Grumman Goose called Cutter's Goose, and it's actually a livery that you can have on the plane if you want to fly it that way. Didn't last very long. I remember, I think only a couple seasons. Didn't really take off, but it's I certainly remember it as a kid. How old I was, I shall not say, but it was interesting. I thought, I wish it had lasted longer, but it didn't, unfortunately. Yeah, it was kind of like Indiana Jones meets Casablanca. I guess it was wanting to be a little bit of both, but it was a fun show. Always enjoyed it. But yeah, now we get to fly the plane. But we will be doing it in Navy livery from Iwanora International to St. Kitts. So try to find a South Pacific sort of location to fly it from, fly around. Those were predominantly used for a lot of the flying boat planes, so to speak, were all used for search and rescue. If a aircraft was shot down or something happened and they had to ditch, then because there was no helicopters back then, helicopter technology was still something they were working on. It didn't happen until for at least America, it didn't happen until the Korean War that the helicopters became a thing. Yeah, remember this body of water. So, let's see, we just passed that. So I see that. Okay. So we are maybe... Yep, it's across there. And then we should see Queen Aaliyah International off to our... somewhere over to our left. Starting to drift. Gotta get probably after we get over these. Yeah, it should be up over here somewhere to our left. Past that. All right. So we are there. Oh boy, this really does not want to stay pointing nearly the right direction. Alright. Kind of have an idea where we are, roughly. I don't think we're quite halfway there yet. Alright, so that means we're near that airport coming up over here, Queen Aaliyah. They're international. So that's the difficult part. Hello, Fish Guns. Yo, yo. Nice to see you here. Welcome. So when you create a flight plan in the world on Microsoft Flight Simulator, it gives you like a time, how much time it would take. So it may be that it won't take all that time. It may be more. It's always difficult to figure out what is the exact sort of time frame that we're looking at here is to complete our flight today. We don't have any way of measuring it. No instruments. There's no DME or anything that we can tune into. I don't think. Well, you know what? Hold on a second. What is here? Is that a 11520? Oops. See, it starts to drift again. Oh, all right. Let's see if we can't tune into that and see if we get maybe an idea of. I don't know if that's a VOR DME or 11520. All right, that is how far away from us? 23 nautical miles. Okay. But see, because I don't know the distance from there to Ar Rutbah, at least not that I could figure out. I don't have all the gee whiz stuff that they do on the PC to get a rough estimate of the distance. So we're getting closer to that signal, but I think it is pointing over here. Yeah, it's pointing off to just off our side there. We'll see how we do. And there's another one. Yeah, see, I kind of feel like we're doing a lot better than I expected. I think, but I could be wrong. Actually, you know what? Let's move this over to here. So I can just tab between the two when I need to. There we go. Thank you all 6 folks coming in, hanging out today. Nice to see you all here in the middle of the week. 1st of June already. Where is the year going? We're halfway through 2022. Before we know it, the Christmas decorations will be up, and it'll be, all we'll hear is Christmas stuff. We haven't even gotten into summer yet, and I'm sure everybody's already looking at Christmas stuff. Might as well get the stuff on sale now, huh? Yeah, the year is going by way too fast. Don't forget to pay your rent. Yeah, I know. I got to do that today. Got to make sure the check goes out. You know, paid the rent, paid the internet, paid the phone, paid the power. Whatever's left is all I got. And it's not much. So surprisingly, speaking of, let's talk about a surprise. So yesterday on the PC and the Xbox, this is one of those rare moments when things work together. The Honda Jet was released yesterday. It is a very neat executive / private jet. Very interesting design. Very nice interior. You can get like nine different paint schemes with it. Different colors. Yeah. Surprising release on a Tuesday afternoon, evening time. Oh, 16 so we're still kind of heading towards it. It's a good sign. But I don't think we're not going to go, we're going to kind of skirt it. We won't go directly to it. Yeah, interesting that we got that. Was not expecting that. Which it was good because, you know, I think the Xbox side needed a little something to boost the morale a little bit, for lack of a better term. There's some unhappy faces over the past few weeks regarding the Xbox side of the sim. Sometimes my own included, but I tried to make the best of it. It's not always easy when things are kind of wishy-washy, I guess. Yeah, looks good. That will go into the repertoire at some point. We'll put that into the like a regional flight service for an executive flight, or VIPs, whatever you want to call it. Do a flight in that in the near future, probably sometime in July, possibly. We've got a lot to get through the rest of this month. We have a whole month ahead of us. A week from today, it'll be leg 12 of our 32 leg flights. We're almost at the halfway point in our journey to Indonesia, former Dutch East Indies. Losing altitude here. I didn't want to lose altitude. I wanted to. Well, I guess if we don't go all the way up to 11,000 feet, that's okay. Just as long as we get over the hills. We're fine. Okay, that might be, well, that's not far. I would think that we'd be able to see look for something that looks like an airport. So yeah, it was a nice surprise, I think, to have that come out yesterday. And I am surprised that they didn't make us wait till tomorrow to get it, to be honest. At the rate things were going, it just seemed like that was what was going to happen. But yeah, so nice surprise. Yeah, the design of it is just, it's kind of weird to look at, to be honest. It's, way that the engines are, it's not like a traditional, you know, like a Learjet or a Cessna Longitude or anything like that. They're not, the engines aren't, you know, on some kind of mounting on the towards the tail of the aircraft. They have like this weird, comes off the wings, kind of. Yeah, very strange design, but it I guess it works. Yeah, good stuff. All right. we're just kind of cruising along here, making our way across the desert. We are heading to, we left Egypt, Gora, Egypt. We are heading to Ar Rutbah, Iraq. And then a week from today, we'll be departing from Ar Rutbah and heading to Baghdad. Of course, probably in the 1930s, the airport was not quite the size that it is today, but it is as close as to was that, you know, we have to use the modern stuff. There's no way we can go back to the 1930s and land at the airport there. Now see, that's something that I would like to see. If somebody could, you know, some of these classic airports like San Francisco or LAX or even JFK, for that matter, if they could do a historic version of the airports with all, you know, like if you keep the ILS stuff and all that kind of stuff, but just the layout, if they could show it the way it was, I think that would be interesting. So let's see, what are we looking at? Okay, so 3.5. Let's see if it goes back up. Our studio's okay. Trying to see where this airport would be. Like, I would have thought we already would have passed it. That could be it over there. That could be an airport, maybe. It does look like possibly one. Okay, so there was a little bit of an airport name right there on the edge. I briefly just saw it. So that must be the airport there, I'm guessing. Does look like a runway right there. All right. Yeah, see, we're going away from it now. Okay, let's go on. Let's see if we can tune in. About 11610. No. What about 11470? Okay, we got that one. All right, so that is off to our right a little bit. All right. That is 54 nautical miles away. So we must be in here. Okay. We're gonna go over. Here. So we're almost at the halfway point, I believe, based on what I can figure out from the sky vector chart. The area. Yeah, that was the airport back there. There's another one farther off behind it to the left there. There was like two of them out there. So now we are going to cross over into here. We're just going to keep plugging along. Only 14, so I think we're doing pretty good. We will see what happens when we're almost at the halfway point, I believe. We're getting there soon. All right. Center. On center V. There's some on center. Oh, okay. That's there. So we're still in their airspace. So that's the airport that was just above Queen Aliyah International. Amman King Abdul International, it looks like. So we are in here. Okay, I kind of see where we're at now based on that line. Airspace line. Although it looks different on the chart than it does on the what I'm looking at here. Interesting. Okay. Well, at least I have a pretty good idea of where we are. I think. And let's go through here. I think we're here, but see, no, we haven't tuned in there. 48 nautical miles, unless it's there's a couple of military bases in the area. Ooh, there's a DME here. 10. It's a non-directional beacon, I think. Doesn't have a... Yeah, that might be a non-directional beacon. Alright, so that is intersect. Okay, now I think I see where we are. Yep, I misjudged where we were. Okay. Crossing that, so here. Okay. I wonder if I can tune that in. 410. Let's see if we get anything like that. So let's go. Try that. See, that might be a non-directional beacon. Well, we could try using that to help navigate, just keep an idea of where we are. Alright, so yeah, I kind of have an idea where we are now, but I'm just trying to see what other possible things we could use to help with the navigation. So we have, if we're here, we have to go, so I think it was in, somewhere here. We're not quite halfway there, but we'll be close to halfway here pretty soon. So we're just going to keep plugging along. I know it's a bit boring. Sorry, it's not the fastest plane in the world. Thank you all for popping in today. Hopefully you enjoy the flight. If you're here lurking, hello. Another muggy day here. Whew. Already a little humid. We had that little bit of rain already this morning, but not too much. But ooh, it is already muggy today. Right, so we must be getting near the airport, that first one, because that line is almost pointing parallel to the wings. know I said we weren't going to have any of the beeping and stuff, but I just want to see if we can at least tune into stuff and give us an idea where we are. It's better than nothing. I'm going to validate where we are in the map. Nautical miles. Let's see if that stays fairly constant or it's going down a little bit. I don't think it's going to go too far low. Now I wonder if we can tune into the next one, because I think we are close enough to jump. 11610. Alright, so we're picking that one up. Right, so there's that first airport right there that we are. It's interesting that we. Okay, so we are down. Oh, that is. Oh. What is that? OJ40. What's that? Is that a military base? That's something else? Oh, there. Okay, I know where we are. All right. We're just above this. Okay, I see it now. That is a military base there. It's OJMS. Well, it looks like OJ40 on there. What I'm looking at is OJMS. Right. Now I know where we are. Yep. And that definitely looks like a military base. Yeah. So that's where we are there. So up ahead we should cross over another airspace. It's 1610. I think I tuned it in. So got quite a bit of flying to go, folks. We are plugging away. We should be hitting the halfway point. Maybe in another 45 minutes or so, I think, give or take. Maybe another hour. So yeah, if you're gonna take a break, get a snack, get a drink, run to the loo, and that would be a good time. We're just plugging along here. On our way. Where we are now. So the other airports that we were tuned into, we won't see them because they're pretty far off in the distance from our line. I didn't expect to see that one there. I don't think I can even do it. Yeah, it's an unknown destination. That's why I can't. All right. signal now. Must not be a high-powered system here. High-powered navigation aids. Whew, all right. Ooh, oh my goodness, look at that. I look away for just a second, all of a sudden we're turning. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, now I think we are getting close to here. Now. Man, it's so easy to get pushed off track. Well, that doesn't look good. Ah, that looks like yuck. It's like when, oh, this whole area is yuck. Look at that. Wow. Boy, they must have had really bad imagery over this area. Oof. That's terrible. It's like a sheet of plastics over it, you know. These two areas right there. Look at that. That's just yuck. No, and that happens sometimes, Jody. When they did the aerial imagery is not high quality for whatever reasons, whether there was a lot of clouds or they, you know, I don't know if somebody purposely asked them to blot out areas or I don't know, but yeah, it just looks terrible. But yeah, they're fixing a lot of stuff, so maybe it'll be fixed in the future. You know, but that just looks like ugh. Yeah. It's like somebody put a piece of plastic down and then put some dirt on top of it. They're like, yeah, that's what it looks like. No, it doesn't. Yeah, because you could see here, there looks like there was clouds over when they took the image from up above, there was a cloud kind of hanging over the, clouds hanging over that. Like pretty dense clouds or something. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, and that happens from time to time, unfortunately, Jody. It's just that they're using aerial photos and put this whole world map together, and some areas just aren't rendered in very good for various reasons. Certainly it's a lot harder to get imagery over countries that may not want the imagery to be taken. So yeah, there's not a lot that Bing Maps or anybody else could do about it, really. You just have to kind of go with the flow. Yeah, that looked terrible. But, they're always updating things, so it could be fixed in the future, but I'm not counting on it because it's just, you have to get permission to go through there. I think, my understanding is that, you have to contact the country and say, hey, we want to do this, and this is what we're going to do with it. If they say no, then, I don't think they can. They can do it. Legally, I think they can't say, well, screw it, we're going to do it anyway. So yeah, it's just one of those things about the sin that just not much you can do about it. Just like at some airports, unless somebody, like say somebody wanted to rebuild Baghdad International Airport and make it look like it looks today, whatever that may be. It would take somebody living there to go, but if you're out there taking pictures and measuring things and all that, somebody might start to question, like if you'd have to get permission well in advance, and if the government says no. If you do that, you could be, they'd be considering that maybe you're spying or, all kinds of stuff. And that would be the end of that. So, yeah. So the chances of if we were going to get a clear version or a clear, version of Baghdad International, for instance, it would take somebody going there, taking images, trying to measure where everything is, and the runways and all that kind of stuff. What do they look like? Their distances and all that, and then they would. But yeah, I think they would have to get permission to do all that. That would be my guess. I think any of that kind of stuff, you'd have to get the permission of either the government. Well, yeah, the government and certainly the airport. And the airport would probably say, well, if the government says okay, then. But yeah, otherwise, somebody just can't say yes at the airport. Hello, Mr. Addies. How are you? Nice to see you here. Yeah. I think in some countries it may be a little bit easier to do, but not always. It depends on, what airport it is, if it has any military sort of significance to it, possibly. Yep, we are just cruising along here. Still got plenty of flying to go. Almost reaching the hour-and-a-half mark. I'm sure most people just probably have me on in the background because it's just kind of a long, slow flight today. Oh, I start cleaning my glasses and I look up and there we are, getting off track a little bit again. Oh yeah. So are you home from your excursion today there, Addies? Are you still there? Or are you still on your way home? What's the dealio? Ooh, goodness gracious. And now we're going the other way. My goodness. Oh, we gotta really turn back here. Wow, there must be a heck of a wind that just keep going all over the place. If I had to guess, Mr. Addies, well, I'm not going to say anything. But I am well too, Mr. Addies. Thank you for asking. And, yeah, nothing much changed since I saw you in Jody's chat earlier this morning. Still same old, same old. I can assure you nothing has changed. Nothing significant has happened. So we are coming up there. That line. Here. Sure. There. Okay. Oh my goodness, we got a really crazy. Well, we're not too far off, but we got to keep an eye. We got a crosswind every so often. It's either pushing us to the left or pushing us to the right. Like it's just can't make up its mind which way it wants to go. All right. So just past there. Should see. This was in here some. Let's keep where. So we can't pick up that signal from there. We're tuned in 11610. Yep, okay. Cannot get anything from there. Turn that off. So that is the end of our ability to get any kind of navigation information along the way. Oh, yeah, that's fine. No worries. Hayes is just getting some lunch now. It's well past lunch, Mr. Addies. You're having a lunner. Late lunch, early dinner. Call it a lunner. All right, take care, Jody. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out for a while. Enjoy time with your family. We'll catch you later. Lunch was probably almost 2 hours ago, Joseph, for you. Going on 2.5 hours almost. That sounds good. Once we are on the ground, we will conclude the flight. We'll wrap things up, and then I'm going to get the video downloaded. It's going to take a little bit of time, and then get it up onto YouTube. Probably process through the rest of the day into later this evening, and then it will be appearing as a premiere over on YouTube tomorrow, 24 hours after we conclude today's flight. So if you want to catch the early part of the shenanigans, you're more than welcome to. If not, it's perfectly fine. Bye, Mr. Addies. There he goes, folks. Getting all tender in the chat. Never fails. Night was over here on Twitch. Thank you all for coming in. If you are tuning in at this point, we took off from Gora. We are heading to Ar Rutbah. We did tune in. We were able to tune into some VOR DMEs, but they were either too far to our right or far to our left. But we have an idea of where we are currently in the flight. We will get on the ground, or once we get on the ground here in Ar Rutbah, we will conclude the flight for today, the stream, and there we go. So, that is the plan for today. We are in the Junkers 52. This is a KLM route from the 1930s. The Fokker F7B proved to be a bit problematic with the flight model. It wasn't very accurate, so we jumped in the Junkers 52, and it's been fine so far. It's not period correct. The Junkers 52 did not fly on this route, but we pressed it into service, and we are en route to Indonesia, the former Dutch East Indies. So that's our final destination. 32 leg flight. We are on leg 11 of 32. Historically, this took about a week to complete. They would fly multiple legs during the day, land before the sun came down, stop somewhere for the night, maybe longer if is this the same freaking, this is so they would do multiple legs during the day, VFR flying only. You didn't have all the whiz-bang sort of stuff we have in this version of the Junkers 52. So it was, you had some radio navigation when possible. You had to do celestial navigation, I believe, as well. That was about it. There was no other way to do it. So yeah, it's quite nice to fly this. The navigation system's working here amazingly well. We have a DME system here. We can tune that in and get the distance so we help us keep on track. We don't have much in the way of navigation out here. We departed from Egypt, and we are, I think, roughly in Iraq at this point. If we aren't already, we're pretty close, I think. And then a week from today, we will take off from Ar Rutbah and head to Baghdad. Not sure how long, what the distance is between the two airports, but we'll try to get there as quickly as we can. It'd be nice if we had a bit of a tailwind, but I don't think that is going to work in our favor today. A little outside view here. I couldn't imagine. I mean, if you were a passenger on here, I mean, the landscape must have been amazing the first time you see it, but I'm sure either you were taken a nap on the plane. I mean, it must have, even if you were up at 8,000 feet, it must have still been pretty warm in the passenger cabin. But KLM did this route. They took off from Amsterdam. It was usually a business person's flight from Amsterdam down to the former Dutch East Indies, which is now Indonesia. It was also somewhat of a mini vacation along the way. When they would stop somewhere for the evening, you would go to a hotel, you would have dinner, you could do a little sightseeing, maybe take in some of the local culture, call it a night, get up in the morning, get back on the plane. As long as the weather was good, fairly clear, and they could see where they were going, then you would take off. But if the weather was suspect, then they would cancel the flight for the day. But generally it took about a week to do the entire flight. But that would be too much flying for me to do, so I have broken it up into reasonably manageable chunks. This one I tried to find a way to kind of break it up a little bit, but there was nothing that I could do that would make it a little bit easier. I don't think. I mean, we could have taken off, or we could have landed over at one of the other airports back there behind us, but trying to keep it as close to accurate as possible, the route that they flew, land at the airports, although some of you may have heard me say this before, but I'll repeat it again. When I was researching this route, the airports are either gone, their names have changed, or in some cases they have become military air bases. So it was a bit of a struggle to try to find the information to give as close to accurate of a route as possible. But I couldn't do the whole bit of it in a week. That's just way too much flying for me. I would be just too wiped out, I think. Yeah, I would have no energy for nothing else. So, yeah, so we've broken it up into bits as best as possible. But this plane, certainly if I had a choice between this one and the Fokker F-7B, the Fokker F-7B is certainly beautiful on its own merit, but it's very difficult to fly. There's no, at least on the Junkers 52, we have flaps to help us slow down. It's a little bit easier to land and take off in. The Fokker F-7 is, even the retrofit, it's very and it's period correct for the without aside from the retrofit part, but it doesn't have any flaps. It's high wing, kind of difficult to fly at times. Landing, you have to come in kind of flat. It's a very different way to fly. So yeah, it's not easy. So yeah, it's got its challenges. So we just press the Junkers 52 back into service for this trip. We'll pretend that the Fokkers have been grounded for the foreseeable future. So they contacted Deutsche Lufthansa. It's two separate words. And they added Deutsch to it. Lufthansa is the modern day Lufthansa has the name, but they have no connection to one another. Because Deutsche Lufthansa was essentially run during the time of the Third Reich, the build up to World War II. They were serving the Junkers 52 German Deutsche Lufthansa employees. Like the executives would go to other countries and offer the Junkers 52 for passenger and mail services. And so a lot of countries who didn't have something as modern as the Junkers 52 immediately agreed. But in some cases, once the Word got around the world what was happening in Germany. A lot of the countries seized the aircraft and any other assets and kicked the Deutsche Lufthansa employees out of the country. But they were also there was Deutsche Lufthansa flights into London, into the UK for the start of the World War II, and the pilots for Deutsche Lufthansa were essentially Luftwaffe pilots and were spying as they would fly. Make notes of things that they saw. So, yeah, kind of a interesting bit of history. But yeah, the two companies have no connection other than the name. And the logo, that's about it. But they're two separate entities. The Junkers 52 had different roles in World War II. It was a transport, obviously, for passengers, usually high-ranking German military officials, maybe their families. It was also used for, you could maybe put a bunch of paratroopers in the back there, and they would jump out the back door, the door right here. It was also, I think, fitted with bombs. It was a medium bomber at times, I think. So it served many purposes. But we are only concerned with it as a vintage airline plane. We haven't even heard from anybody in a while. It's like ATC just gave up on us. We could have been crashed and dead, and they wouldn't even know. Although I would think that the pilots would have checked in with the airports along the way. They would have radioed and given their position, I would think. In the event that something happened, they had a last known position within a certain amount of distance or an area. Not that you could get anybody out there very quickly to find the wreckage or even mount a rescue effort. No helicopters or to go over land, it would have been quite a journey, I would think. The chances are everybody would be dead by the time you got there, either from injuries or from exposure. Lack of water, lack of food. You're just out there during the day sweating so much, you're losing all that fluids, and then in the evening, once the sun goes down, the temperature drops very quickly and can become very cold before you know it. I can attest to that. Multiple desert-like environments that during the day it would just be hot. And usually in some cases, once the sun went down, you were like, you gotta put a jacket on or something. At least something to try to keep you warm. very harsh environment. If you are not prepared, you can, even if you are prepared, you can run out of supplies very quickly, especially water. Just like in hypothermia, people start to panic because your body is shutting down, essentially. Hopefully everybody's enjoying themselves today. Nice to have you all here. Quick shout out to Mick and Patrice. Sorry, I almost said Patrick. Patrice, who are my 2 Prime subscribers. Thank you both for that. Do check out Mick. Mickford. He streams on Twitch and YouTube. Give you his Twitch channel. Does a bunch of different stuff. Last night was on FS22, Farm Sim 22. And does on Fridays, if you like, or Fridays or Saturdays, I think, or 5-lap multiplayer F1 races, F1 21. So do check him out. I will give you his Twitch there in the chat. And then he also has a link to his YouTube. If you have Twitch and you don't really care about YouTube, you can always watch him on Twitch. So yeah, do give him a follow. Do give him a sub on YouTube if you can. Always interesting content. The stream is trying to catch up. It's buffering. Internet's good. Yeah, still saying excellent. Sorry folks if it's buffering. It's acting up a bit, which I was hoping to avoid now that we have the we're only streaming here on Twitch. Yeah, it's kind of buffering right now. I apologize about that. I may have to lower the quality just a bit. You know, yeah, it's like it's thinking. It's like it's stuck. That worries me. I don't know if I refresh. All right, folks. If the stream stops for some reason, I'm going to restart it. I'm going to pause, and we'll go to part 2. Okay. Something's not right. It's like still bogged down here. So I'm going to refresh my page here real quick. Hopefully that clears it up. So I apologize in advance, folks. All right, that cleared it up. Perfect. Okay. I was hoping to avoid, I didn't want to have to pause it and then start a stream again and all that. It's only 2 parts, and that's a bit much, but all right, we're back in business. So if we are somewhere out in the desert. I am not 100% certain how much farther we've got to go. I think we are almost at the halfway point, or near the halfway point. I'm just trying to remember. I know our area is somewhere in the desert. We're going to land short of another area that we will fly over on Wednesday. I'm trying to find the road, kind of area that would take us to the airfield. I don't remember whereabouts it is. Actually, I think I do know now. Nope, that is not the area I'm looking for. It is up here. Where's that? That's another. Oh, 11400. Let's see if we can turn into that. It does not appear so. Oh, we can put that on. Oh, we are tuned into that then. 71 nautical miles to that. So I think we're getting there. So based on where that is, that where we just tuned into, we should be almost there. I think we're getting there. We may be getting there. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Adams. Yeah, we just had a little bit of a hiccup there for a moment. It's fine. So we may be getting there a little bit quicker than expected, but I don't want to say for sure that is going to be the case, because it's hard to know. Like that what we just tuned into, that VOR DME, I think, should be a VOR DME. That is not right near our airport, but at least it gives us an idea of a distance of some kind. We will monitor that and see if we. So I'm just kind of checking things here. Ah, okay. So we are still in a Mon airspace, Mon Center airspace. So I was looking at and eventually we will be in Baghdad Center airspace. That looks like a dry riverbed. See if we can figure out where we are roughly. almost parallel. Well, I guess kind of parallel to a... So once we cross over, there's another airspace we gotta cross into. I think from there we are roughly home free. Trying to get an idea of where exactly we are. Based on these little dry river beds and everything. I can guesstimate, but that's about it. Alright, so we're getting closer to it. We won't head right for it. So yeah, we're just looking for that airspace box for us to cross over into, and then we'll have a better idea of where we are. Kind of. I don't know if, even if it's on our list yet. ORAU. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 possible airports nearby. Okay. We are not anywhere near close enough yet that we could even contact Ar Rutbah for landing clearance. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Addies. I mean, it sounds like it'd be an interesting job. You know, might be able to get some free movies, you know, watch a movie here and there, but if it's too far for you, I mean, you know, I guess it depends on how, I mean, I worked in the cinema years ago when I was in high school. Helped out, a friend of mine helped me get the job. We would do the cleanup after the movies, and we'd get there and sit down and watch a movie for free every so often. And then after the you know, after everybody would go home, you know, we would do the clean up the bathrooms, and clean up the theater. You know, we'd get the leftover popcorn and have that. And, you know, maybe we'd try to save a leftover hot dog or two. You know. So by 1 o'clock, oh yeah, that might be a bit much. I guess if you had your own transportation, it would be different. You know, you could probably do it, but yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're trying to, I don't know if the buses even run at that point. So yeah, because they would probably want you to clean up after the last show and all that kind of stuff. So. But it's fun. I mean, I enjoyed it. It wasn't. We only had one. Matter of fact, if you go on my Flickr, it says Chabot Theater. That's the theater I spent. You know, did a little bit of work there, and it was fun. You know, got watch a movie every so often, and you know, I mean, it didn't pay a lot, but it was okay. Something to do every so often. Or, if we, during the week, we would go there after school, and if there was a show the night before and we couldn't go because of school, then we would just go over there and get it cleaned up for the show that evening. Yeah. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about having to rely on public transportation, because here where I live, the buses stop at about, I think, 8 or 9 in the evening. So yeah, if that's your only mode of transportation, you're out of luck. But I'm guessing the BORDME is out there somewhere. So let's see if we're quite at our crossover into Baghdad airspace just yet. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but I would say otherwise it's not a bad job. I mean, it's kind of, it's not the most exciting thing in the world cleaning up in a theater, but I mean, when you're young, it's not that bad. Especially if there's movies coming out that you want to watch that you don't want to pay for, But yeah, it's I enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, it wasn't too hard of a job, really. It wasn't the most exciting thing to do, especially cleaning bathrooms and sweeping, mopping all the soda that gets spilled on the floor and all that. But, in retrospect, it wasn't the worst job in the world, But when you're, in high school, sometimes just that little bit of money, just something, spending money or whatever, it helps. So I don't know what is the ISO line? I don't know if I've ever switched that on. What's the difference? Does it show anything different? No. Doesn't look like it. 64 nautical miles. Let's see, does it go? Are we staying at a constant? Nope. Still losing a bit of. Slowly getting a little bit closer, but I don't think we're going to get that close where it's going to go farther down to like 20 nautical miles or 10 nautical miles or anything like that. We're stayed a pretty constant distance. Yeah, I always think there could be worse jobs. It's not the most. You're basically the behind-the-scenes person. Do all the menial stuff, unfortunately. Cleaning bathrooms and stuff like that. It's not the. Most people would say, yeah, I prefer not to do something like that. Some people enjoy it. I'm not one of them. Trust me. I had my fill of it in the military. Alright, we're still plugging along here. Let's see where our... Yeah, we're right. Our carburetors are nice and cool. Not overheated. Not right in the green area there, so we are okay with that. Not that we have the failures on, but at least we know they are operating where they should be. Yeah, it's always difficult to, if you have to. Like, I knew somebody who was like, once he retired from the military, he said he was going to go work for the post office. I said, Joe, do you want to be a mail carrier? He said, no, I'll be happy to clean the bathrooms and buff the floor in the main hallway or the main entrance area and all that. So that's all I care about. He said, I don't want to handle nobody's mail. No siree. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, Mr. Addy's good for you. All you gotta do is just keep practicing. Try to be consistent when you can be, and just keep working at it. Sometimes the things that you want to enjoy, you have to put a little bit of time into it to get better at it. What if Ansel Adams had taken a picture at Yosemite and it didn't come out right and he just tossed the camera in the garbage and never took pictures? We'd be got all these wonderful pictures of Yosemite and other stuff that he's done. What if Michael Schumacher quit after his first year at Ferrari? He only had the 2 world championships. He was like, I tried at Ferrari for a year. Pfft, no, I'm done. Would have missed the 5 other championships. Gotta keep at things. That is the key. Sometimes it's not easy. I used to always tell students when I was in the dark room, when I would open, be the media tech in the dark room on the weekends. You got to keep practicing at it. You're not going to. Some people naturally just take to it very quickly, and other people they struggle with the concepts and they get a little bit frustrated. It's like there's no reason to get frustrated. Just keep working at it. You'll get it. But you have to develop your own style. That's the key. Why is this line here? It's like this is intercepting here in this corner. What is that? Oh, I think I know. Hold on a second. Hold on just a second. Don't sign it. It's magic ink. I think I know where we are. I think, but I am not 100% certain. Yeah, I think we've just been kind of skirting the edge of that VOR DME, which is basically to our left, somewhere out that way. Over the hills and through the desert. Yeah, it's just Kirkuk Center. Interesting. Okay. Kirkuk Center. Alrighty. Kirkuk Center. What do I know that name? Where is Kirkuk? Is that on the other side of the... What's that? Nope, that's not it. I know the name, I'm just trying to remember where I know it from. I think it's an area there in Baghdad. Baghdad International. Alright, so there's that. Yeah, I recognize the name. I don't remember where is it, where is it in relation to us? Let's see. I knew it's in Iraq. 238 kilometers north of Baghdad. Okay. Well, if that is Baghdad, right here. Where is Kirkuk? Why are we talking to them instead of Baghdad? Huh. I'm looking too far to the north. Lod. Okay, there's that. Huh. Okay. It seems a bit odd that we're talking to Kirkuk Center, not Baghdad Center. Interesting. Yeah, that's all it takes, Addie's just got to keep working at it, and you'll get there. And if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's not, you know, if you just have fun doing it, don't get frustrated. Just keep trying the best you can. You know, and that's all you can do. You might win some, you might crash out, whatever. It's not end of the world sort of stuff. Because when you start feeling like it is, then maybe it's time to call it a day. Put the controller away, turn the game off. Then you're just going to drive frustrated, and that's not going to get you anywhere. There's that. Oh, I think I know. Let me see here. That is that. Kind of have an idea where we might be. This is that there. Yeah, I'm betting you that's that. Chart. Yeah. And then so now it's just a matter of that's personally why I don't play the racing games. I just my blood pressure couldn't take it. All right, so we've been skirting the edge of that VOR DME. We've been staying at a fairly constant distance, so that's a good sign. We're not drifting too far away, or not getting. Then the tire came off. Yeah. Well, sometimes that happens. It's fine. You know, just make one mistake, and then all of a sudden, that's it. It's over with. But you know, it's just a game. It's not like you're done for the. You know, just have to sit out and wait for the next race or whatever. So that did help out. We kind of, at least we've been staying a fairly consistent distance, around the 62, 63 nautical mile range. So if we've been skirting that, I have an idea where we are. We should see change here in the airspace in a little bit. In fact, let me see if we can zoom. Oh, that's zooming in. It's zoomed out. It's try to keep an eye on for that airspace change, and then we'll probably be bumping over to. Well, I'll be honest with you, Mr. Addies. Sometimes it's hard to tell. You get so frustrated. It doesn't seem like you're enjoying yourself. Once your blood starts to boil, as they say, it's you can't reasonably say that you're enjoying yourself. You know, because that's not how it sounds in your voice, does it? People can tell. So, but if, that's your call. I know if I get that angry, there's no way I'm enjoying myself. And I know when I'm like that, and I don't like it. Not at all. as a old office partner of mine used to say, you can lie to your friends, I can lie to my friends, but let's not lie to each other. So, I have no doubt you were getting a little spun up because either mistakes, or you got somebody hit you, or you thought somebody hit you, or whatever. But it is what it is. Well, I thought we were getting closer to that Baghdad airspace, but I haven't seen that map, or that line, that change in the airspace that I was expecting. BYD is kind of behind us now. We're still keeping an eye on the distance. So we're moving away from it now. That's a good sign, I guess. We're still moving forward. I don't know how powerful it is for us to keep track of our distance there and kind of have an idea of where we are. I would have thought by now we would have crossed over into, but I may have misjudged my flying away from it. Should be right about here. Like, I would think any moment now we would see that change of airspace into Baghdad airspace. But what is in the sim and what is in Sky Vector might be two slightly different things. If we're talking to Kirkuk Center, I'm still perplexed by that. Why would we be talking to them and not Baghdad? Baghdad is the closer major international airport. I would think that everything would be there. But maybe for security reasons it's not. Maybe it is in Kirkuk. I'm trying to think if I ever made it up that way. It wouldn't be surprising if I did when I was in Iraq, because when towards the second half of our time in Iraq, we were starting to move equipment to Baghdad for kind of get stuff ready to be sent back to the States or wherever units were from. So a lot of stuff was getting closed down. So we might have gone up around about that way. Not exactly there, but certainly towards that part of Iraq. Most of my time was around Baghdad in the immediate area. Kind of guess what you would call the suburbs. For lack of a better term. I did get to see, I think I posted a picture of it, where the Iraqi national team practice football. World Cup stuff. Really nice looking stadium from the air for sure. Drove by it I think twice. Yeah. On a convoy. But from the air you can definitely see, like, it's massive. either I misjudged where I was, or we're moving away from that. So we gotta be, unless I missed it, should have been in Baghdad airspace. But I'm wondering if in here it says it's Kirkuk airspace, which is very strange. I don't know. Very peculiar. I think there's links to my Flickr page here on Twitch. I think I put all that on there. Yeah. Saw it the other day. So I want to check out my photography. Got pictures around Iraq that I took either from convoys or when I was flying a bit, going from a couple, did some training stuff at other locations. I want to check that out. Somewhere in the mixture of all the pictures. I think it's towards the tail end of my stuff. All my albums. Of course, they weren't all geotagged correctly. I just kind of guesstimated, or I just put it somewhere so you didn't really know where it was. So, for security reasons. But yeah, I always try to have a little camera with me just to take pictures of what I saw on the way, whenever we were on a convoy or something. Alright, so that is 70 nautical miles away, and it's back here somewhere-ish, off there, off the distance. It must be in what would be considered Baghdad airspace now. Either I've misjudged where we are, which is possible, but if I tuned into that VOR, wow, there's like little buildings out here, it looks like. Wow. Alright, let's see if it's on the list now, for at least within talking distance. We are! Oh, there we go. Alright. now we can get an idea of how far away we are. Runway 06. 35 miles. Woohoo! We're almost there, folks. There we go. Winner, winner, chicken frickin' dinner. We are getting ready to wrap this thing up, folks. 35 miles. There we go. I like it. That is always a good sign. When we hear that's how far we are, we know we are near the finish line. Whew. Amen. There we are. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what is happening on this VFR map is not the same as the map. What is happening in SkyVector, that is for sure. But we had some help along the way. That's all right. It's better to have some kind of information to work with. All right, I'm going to do a quick refresh again because it's starting to kind of buffer up here. So I'm going to do one more refresh. So hopefully it doesn't interrupt anything. Sorry if it does. There we go. Now we're back in business. All right, so yeah, we are near the end of the flight here. So that helped out. We had a good idea kind of where we were, but it was hard to tell because we didn't have the chart itself. The little VFR map did not have the correct information, I don't think. So. Oh, also, for those of you who are new on Twitch, if you look in the bottom left below the block where you can type in a message, you'll see points, and you can try some of that if you want to. Some more stuff will be added later on as we gain more subscribers and other things. It'll unlock some more stuff. So and I do apologize, because I'm an affiliate, there are ads sometimes, so if it interrupts you, but there should be very short ads. So yeah. We are coming near the end of our journey today. Finally. I'm so happy that we got a idea of how much farther we got to go. Continue to drop some altitude here. Start enough altitude because that will be there before we know it. 35 miles can go very quickly. All right. So yeah, we might have made this a little bit. We might have gotten there a little bit quicker. So, but we're almost at the 3-hour mark. We've been flying for about 2 hours and 55-ish minutes. Right, at least if I do that every so often, we'll know how much we have left to go to our destination. We are going to go straight in. Well, we might go straight in. We might do a fly over and then come back around and come in. We've got enough fuel. I don't know. See, we got 49% fuel. We're almost at the limit. Well, it was below 50%. We got a little bit more in the tank, or we got enough in the tank to make it there for sure. But I think I just want to get it on the ground so we can wrap this up for the day and go do my grocery shopping. Let's go ahead and minimize that. Well, I guess I didn't really need the snacks, but at least I have them for another time. Well, thank you all once again, everybody, for coming in and hanging out today. It's been quite a flight. Figured it was going to be a long one and did not disappoint, but I think we are going to be done a little bit quicker than we thought. I think we should be within 20 nautical miles. Let's call in and see where we're at now. 20. Yep, I guessed about right. Oops, I should have left that open so we can just make that call every so often to see where we are. How much more we got to go, but 20 nautical miles. We are near the finish line for sure. It's like coming to the end of the 24-hour Le Mans. Just one more lap. It's over with. always have to be careful. You cannot assume that your last lap will do it, as Toyota learned about 6 years ago. It was epic. I felt bad for them. I don't feel bad for them anymore, but I did feel bad for them at that point. That sucked. That should have been their first win, but actually, I would have preferred that be their first win, but stuff happens. Should have the lines pop up once we are close enough. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to turn slightly to the left. Pick up a course of 060 or thereabouts, and then so we're going to stay right about here, kind of run parallel, and then we should have enough time to turn in towards our runway there. Let's see how far we are now. Should be about 15, I think. Ooh, less than... Oh, boy, I'm guessing it right so far. Ooh, I didn't realize I put some flaps down already. When did I do that? I wonder why this thing was acting a little goofy today. Alright, there we are, folks. We're not going to follow the pattern in. We're just going to go right on in. We're going to just go ahead and get it done. There it is. We are right there. That should be our straight in right there. So we are heading that direction. So this airport must be up a little bit in altitude, but I can't verify it because there's no... can't pull up a chart on the runway at all. Right, we can go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and announce we are on final. So why not? Not that it makes any difference. So yeah, we'll get this downloaded and get it going for the upload to YouTube. at least get the download going. I'll put the stuff on YouTube later for it to go through its process. Thank you all once again for coming in and hanging out. Thank you to Fish Guns and Jody for new followers over here on Twitch. Nice to see you all here. It's been an epic flight, but we are coming to the end of today's leg. It's been quite epic, to say the least. Might be the understatement of the day. Well, it has been epic, but it's been a long one. But we kept on track at least. We didn't get too far off one way or the other. We didn't get lost. So we kind of used the tools available to us. Kind of helped out along the way. It seemed like it went 0 and now, okay, there we go. Yeah, in theory, we should have done a flyover just to get an idea what our airport looks like before we land, but we're going to go ahead and just get on in there, put it on the ground, and call it a day. I'm curious to see what our flight time is, because I think we got here a little bit quicker, despite the fact that we had crosswinds, generally not so much any tailwind, but we must have picked up a little bit along the way somewhere. Those winds can be mean in the desert. I can assure you, when wind blows and you think, oh, it's going to be a nice cool breeze, no. It's like somebody turned on the hair dryer on full hot blast. You're just like, gotta be kidding me. Why did the wind even blow if it wasn't even a cool breeze? Tell you what, if you don't curse, that will make you very close to wanting to curse. Nothing quite like a hot breeze blowing across your face, and there's just like doesn't even add any relief. It's just like, it's like the wind's just laughing at you. Ha ha, you thought it was going to be cool. Gotcha. Sucker. Alright folks, I'm going to turn the laptop to the side. At ease, you can go into giggle mode if you want while I'm preparing to land. We can get rid of that. Well, no, we'll keep that because as soon as we get on the ground, we'll announce that we're clear of the runway as we turn. time is in Baghdad? Nothing. Ooh, almost 5:45 in the evening. Alright. I'm guessing it's roughly in the same time zone. We'll just assume that it is. Maybe an hour before. I don't know, but we'll go ahead and give the time as 17:46. Oops. I gotta drop altitude here. I was climbing for some reason. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, it is a paved runway. It must not be a very well paved. At least here it is, but I don't know if that it's like that in real life. And there we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, I'd like to welcome you to Ar Rutbah, Iraq. Local time is 17:48 in the evening. We understand and appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. And we are quite thankful that you chose to fly with us today to Ar Rutbah. Join us tomorrow in the Grumman Goose in the South Pacific area. Hewanora International to St. Kitts. All right, there we are. Let's go ahead and let's let them know we are clear of the runway. Not that anybody's coming in behind us. Now I think the parking spots were down back here where we came in at, so I'm going to try to taxi back there. Get the plane going again here. I think it's a little tired. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Had enough runway to get us there. Come on, plane, move. There we go. So I gotta get on the gas a little bit more. Yeah, paved runway, but I don't know that it's like that in real life. I don't think it is. I think it was like maybe a hard gravel or something. That's my guess. Yeah, it wasn't too shabby. Although I think I was getting ready to stall the plane, but luckily I got enough gas to get us over the threshold, and then yeah, didn't need much of the runway, but we had plenty, that's for sure. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's an air sock there. Yes, there is an air sock. Look at that. Who would have thought? I didn't even see that as we came in. No movement whatsoever. Maybe a little bit here and there, but it looks like it's really no wind. Yeah. Hold on a second, folks. I gotta mute myself. Oh, there was somebody on a motorcycle right outside. I thought they were getting ready to rev their engines a little too much for my liking. All right. So Wednesday we will take off from here. We'll just go right on the runway and get out of here. That's the plan. All right, let's go ahead and shut this all off. All right, let's get our lights off here. And let's shut the batteries off. 1, 2. Why didn't it stop? Probably because we're not in a space where... okay. Interesting. All right, well, we're just going to pause it here then. We didn't get the conclusion like I expected to see. I will... Matter of fact, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the main menu and we're going to see the number of hours that it took for us to fly today, so that you all can see that for yourselves. It was a whopping 3 hours and 9 minutes. Look at that. And it was supposed to be about a 3.5, almost 4-hour flight. So we got there a little bit quicker. I like it. So, anyway, that will be it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate you coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube on Thursday morning, thank you for watching the replay. Hopefully you enjoy it. Sorry that I cannot be streaming directly from Twitch to YouTube anymore. It is a part of the requirement for me to be an affiliate on Twitch. Let me get this all done here. Get this. Oh, I gotta pause the stream again. Well, I can't pause it. Once 3 hours and 9 minutes. Yep. All right. Once it's back there, I'm just going to go ahead and... All right. So there it is. All right. That will be it for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in. I will see you all tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK. Grumman Goose, Huanora to St. Kitts. Do enjoy. I have been your host. I forgot. I got to do the whole Uncle B thing now. I have been your host for this flight. Uncle B, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, early Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.